Hi, I'm Tim Humphries. I'm the CEO of Homestyle Aged Care. We care for 1,000 older Victorians across 10 sites with a team of 1,500 people. Yeah, look, when you're trying to take to a board a technical business case, it's often tricky because you're talking to non-technical people. And then on top of that, you're trying to prove to them that there'll be a return on investment. So the complexity of both educating non-technical people and then them having a business imperative to see a return on investment was challenging. So we moved more towards a necessary tool of trade rather than necessarily a return on investment, which I think ultimately they understood. And the key part for us was also ensuring that we could attract people, which started to be a problem for us when they realised we didn't have that in place. So 2019, I think it was the back end of 2018, a Royal Commission was announced into aged care. And as soon as that happens, your world gets turned upside down. So after that, just the need for data started to increase, and it was more around compliance than necessarily what the Royal Commission was doing. So for us, it was another key driver for us moving to that electronic care planning space, because we found we were just constantly providing information in a really manual, laborious fashion that was dragging paper. So it just sort of, I think, escalated the need for our move to an electronic environment. I think fortunately we'd already started on that path of digital transformation, so we were some way down the track, but I think in a lot of ways the Royal Commission just accelerated that. Oh, look, I think when I'd consider us a medium-sized organisation, you don't have resources in-house of the calibre of Interactive. So, we've tapped into the resources at a support level, which is really straightforward and a must-have. But then when we've done more challenging things like we're in the moment trying to implement some pretty tricky technology around Wi-Fi enabled phones, we rely on senior technicians that Interactive have that we simply couldn't employ as an organisation. So we're tapping in and out of those critical resources when we need them, rather than employing them permanently in our business. And I suspect, for most people, that MSP type arrangement works better simply because you've got access to really highly skilled people that you otherwise wouldn't be able to find or employ. Look, I think that when you change vendor in this space, it's a big deal. So changing MSPs, which we did, we moved to Interactive 18 months ago. And the idea of moving is, it's tricky. But I think what we found from the outset was everyone we interacted with were intelligent and impressive people. And I think that was the first thing I noticed. Everyone that I was introduced to seemed really capable and impressive. And I think that sort of is, and that's not changed. Everyone I've been introduced to through the organisation has had that, really, I've not doubted that you could do the job. And I think for me in that space, that's unusual. I think the biggest benefit we're now getting is that we can actually monitor the care. Our residents, we can monitor everything to do with them from anywhere. And that has been remarkable, particularly through COVID when we couldn't necessarily go to the homes. We could check in on what was going on remotely. And if the regulator turned up in that Royal Commission environment, we could monitor it electronically. So I think that change has been remarkable. So it's improved the care we provide. And efficiencies are there too, I think, a little, but I think probably the key driver for us is we now know that we're providing better care because we can electronically record it, we can report on it, and that's been game-changing. The biggest part of the future for us is just getting what you guys are calling a single pane of glass, which is the ability for us to access disparate systems through one tool. And IT's talked about that for an awfully long time, but it sounds like it might actually be achievable now. So I'm excited about us being able to have a single report that cuts across HR, operations, care, finance, and to get that all pulled together by some pretty impressive technology, which is now apparently really easily deployed.